The secret on your plate. Every single day, millions of people pull a pizza out of their freezer, slide it into the oven, and think nothing of it. But here's what nobody tells you. That pizza traveled through a factory floor the size of 3 football fields, passed through hands, machines, and chambers that most people will never see in their lifetime. And the process? It's nothing like what you imagine. In fact, one part of it will genuinely surprise you. So let's go inside. The question nobody asks. We all know pizza, but do we actually know factory pizza? The kind that gets made thousands of times a day, in a space where precision matters more than passion, and where a single miscalculation in temperature or timing can ruin an entire batch worth tens of thousands of dollars? Whole Foods pizza, the kind that carries a premium label, organic ingredients, and a promise of quality, has to live up to something most frozen pizzas don't. It has to feel real. It has to taste like it wasn't made by a machine. But the truth is, it absolutely was. And the machines behind it, they're engineering masterpieces hiding in plain sight. Here's how it actually happens. Stage 1, the dough, where it all begins. It starts with flour. Not just any flour. Carefully sourced, often organic, tested for protein content and moisture levels before a single gram enters the production line. In a Whole Foods-style premium pizza facility, ingredient sourcing is the first filter. Everything that enters the line has already been approved, lab-tested, and cleared. The dry ingredients get loaded into massive mixers, some standing over 6 feet tall, capable of processing hundreds of kilograms of dough in a single cycle. Water, olive oil, yeast, and salt are introduced in exact proportions, controlled by automated dosing systems. The mixing time isn't guesswork. It's calculated down to the second, because overmixing dough changes its gluten structure entirely. And a dough with the wrong gluten structure, it won't hold its shape. It won't give you that satisfying bite. Once mixed, the dough is left to proof. This is where things slow down deliberately. Fermentation isn't rushed here. The dough rests in temperature-controlled rooms, sometimes for hours, developing flavor the same way artisan bakeries do, just at an industrial scale. Here's something most people don't realize. The yeast in that dough is alive. It's breathing, and the factory has to treat it that way. Stage 2, pressing and shaping. The moment the pizza becomes a pizza. After proofing, the dough moves to sheeting and portioning. Giant rollers flatten it into consistent sheets with millimeter-level precision. Then automated cutting systems punch out individual dough rounds, each one identical in weight and diameter. These rounds travel on a conveyor belt to the pressing station. Here, a dough press applies controlled pressure to form the classic pizza base. The center gets thinner. The edges stay thicker, forming that crust. This machine is doing in seconds what a pizzaiolo spends years learning to do by hand. And the speed? Some industrial pizza presses can shape over 100 individual pizza bases per minute. Let that sit for a second. 100 pizzas, 60 seconds. That's faster than you can say the word pepperoni. But premium pizza factories don't always run at maximum speed. Whole Foods-style production lines often intentionally slow the process to preserve dough integrity. Because a pizza that's rushed through pressing tiers at the edges creates air bubbles in the wrong places and bakes unevenly. Quality has a pace. Stage 3, the sauce. More science than you think. Now comes the sauce. And this is where things get genuinely interesting. The tomato sauce used in premium pizza production isn't just poured from a can. It starts as tomato paste, thick, concentrated, intensely flavored. That paste is then reconstituted with water and blended with herbs, spices, and in many premium lines, a small amount of olive oil for mouthfeel. The viscosity of the sauce is tested. Not tasted first, tested. A sauce that's too thin will soak into the dough before the pizza even reaches the oven, destroying the base. A sauce that's too thick won't spread evenly in the dispensing machine and will create inconsistent coverage across every single pizza. Sauce dispensing machines apply a precise gram weight of sauce to each base, then a rotating spreading head distributes it in a spiral outward from the center. The result is even coverage every single time, with a consistent border left around the edge. This is the part that separates a mass-market pizza from a premium one. In cheaper production lines, the sauce just gets dumped. In lines built for quality, it gets placed. Stage 4. The cheese. The most controlled ingredient on the line. Cheese on a factory pizza line is handled with more care than most people give it credit for. First, it arrives at the facility in large blocks or pre-shredded bags, already tested for fat content, moisture levels, and melt behavior. Because not all mozzarella melts the same. And a cheese that releases too much moisture during baking will make your crust soggy. A cheese that doesn't melt properly will sit rubbery and pale on top. Neither is acceptable. In premium production lines, cheese is distributed through vibratory dispensers, machines that shake the shredded cheese across the pizza surface in a randomized pattern designed to look handmade. The distribution isn't uniform in a grid. It's deliberately irregular because irregular looks real. The weight of cheese on each pizza is controlled to within a few grams. At this scale, even a 5-gram variance per pizza across a production run of 10,000 units represents 50 kilograms of cheese. If you've been watching this far and you're finding this fascinating, you're not alone. This channel is built for people who want to see the hidden world behind the products we use every day. Subscribe to Infusions and Elements so you never miss a factory secret. Stage 5. Toppings. The choreography of ingredients. This is where the line becomes almost beautiful to watch. Toppings get added in a specific calculated sequence. Heavier ingredients go down first, vegetables like bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, because they need direct contact with the cheese layer beneath to anchor during baking. Lighter ingredients, like herbs or smaller cut toppings, go on last. Each topping has its own dispensing station, its own calibrated feeder, its own timing window on the belt. The pizza moves at a fixed speed. Each station drops exactly what it's supposed to, exactly when it's supposed to. Miss the window by half a second and the topping lands on the conveyor, not the pizza. In facilities producing Whole Foods tier products, whole ingredient standards matter. Organic vegetables are inspected and often pre-roasted or blanched before they reach the topping line. Why? Because raw vegetables release water when baked. Pre-treating them removes that excess moisture before it ever touches the pizza. The result is a topping that holds its color, its texture, and its flavor, even after freezing and reheating. Stage 6. The freeze tunnel, where time stops. Here's where the factory does something remarkable. The fully assembled pizza, sauce, cheese, toppings, everything, moves into an industrial blast freezer. These aren't like the freezer in your kitchen. These tunnels can drop a pizza's core temperature to negative 30 degrees Celsius in minutes. The process is called individual quick freezing, or IQF. Why does speed matter? Because slow freezing creates large ice crystals inside the food. Large ice crystals rupture cell walls in the vegetables, break down the cheese structure, and change the texture of the dough. Fast freezing creates microscopic ice crystals that do almost none of that damage. This is the science that makes a frozen pizza still taste good when you bake it weeks or months later. The freeze tunnel is essentially hitting the pause button on time, suspending the pizza in the exact state it was in the moment it went in. Temperature inside these tunnels is monitored continuously. Any deviation triggers an alert, because once a batch of pizzas enters the wrong temperature zone for too long, the entire batch has to be evaluated and potentially discarded. Stage 7. Packaging. The final reveal. After freezing, the pizzas move into the packaging zone. They're inspected, sometimes by camera systems using AI-assisted vision technology that checks for topping coverage, edge integrity, and surface defects at a rate no human eye could match. Each pizza is then transferred to its box. For premium lines, this isn't just any box. The packaging is tested for cold chain integrity, meaning it has to maintain product quality from the factory floor all the way to your freezer at home. A label gets applied, nutritional information that took weeks to calculate, ingredient lists that went through legal and regulatory review, barcodes that connect this box to a global supply chain. And then it's sealed, stacked, palletized, and loaded onto a refrigerated truck, beginning a journey that ends in your kitchen. What you just witnessed. What happened on that factory floor wasn't just food production. It was the intersection of food science, mechanical engineering, microbiology, and industrial design, all working together to put a pizza in your hands that tastes like someone cared. Because in a strange way, someone did. The food technologists who developed the recipe, the engineers who designed the machinery, the quality control teams who rejected batches that didn't meet the standard. Every step of that process was built around a single outcome, a pizza that earns its place on a Whole Foods shelf. Next time you open that box, you'll know exactly what it took to get there. If this pulled back the curtain on something you never expected to see, that's what this channel is built for. Subscribe to Infusions and Elements. Every week, we go inside the factories, the production lines, and the industrial processes that make the modern world run. The secrets are already there. We just take you inside.